This episode is sponsored by ThruNite. Today, I'll be cutting a sink from a stone, which I'll then install in the newly constructed cabin bathroom. Somewhere along the winding pine and cedar shorelines, the perfect stone was waiting. All I had to do was find it.
Well, this is the nicest stone that I've found so far. It looks like a type of granite with some beautiful rose quartz veins running right through it. So this would look amazing as a sink once it's been hollowed out and polished, but unfortunately, this one's just too big.
Real quick, I'd like to thank ThruNight for sponsoring this episode, and to introduce the Outsider lineup of tactical flashlights. If you're the outdoorsy type or work in the trades, these flashlights were built for you. Durable, waterproof, rechargeable, compact, and powerful. Take the new Desert Tan TC15 for example. It maxes out at a staggering 2500 lumens, thanks to its high-quality Cree LED and high-capacity Li-ion battery, encased in a waterproof and impact-resistant aluminum body. Plus, it can easily be recharged via the built-in USB-C port. The Outsider lineup includes the TC15 Tactical, TH02 headlamp, Catapult Pro searchlight, and even a keychain light. Links are in the description below. Now let's get back to the sink. Although the caulking goes on white, it'll turn clear once it's cured. Well, it took a bit of work, but the stone sink has been made and installed. So first of all, it took me 2 full days just to find the stone, and that's because I wanted to find the perfect piece for the cabin. Something that was a good shape, but also with a really good grain. And so when I found this piece of granite with the quartz and the rose quartz veins running through the center, I knew it was exactly what I had been searching for. So I'm really glad that I put in the time to find it, rather than just use any old stone that I could find along the way. But when I brought the stone back to the cabin, it took me another 2 days just to cut it and shape it out. So I started with my 7-inch diamond blade using my bigger grinder, and I cut a grid pattern into the top of the stone, which I then chipped out with my cold chisel. And then I went down another 2 or 3 levels with that larger grinder until I couldn't go any further. And then I switched out to my smaller grinder with a 4.5-inch diamond blade, and I went a little bit deeper with that. I knocked those pieces out, and then I switched to my diamond cup grinder, and I used that to shape the sink out and to remove those gouge marks from the diamond blades. And once I'd finished shaping it, then I went to my polishing kit, and I used some polishing pads that went from 50 grit all the way up to 3000 grit, I believe. And I used 3 50 grit pads initially just to smooth the inside of the sink out and to remove any remaining gouges. And then I worked my way up to the 3000 grit, at which point the inside of the sink was nicely polished. It had a really good glossy look to it. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. Now, to top it all off, I used a stone sealer, which is just in a spray bottle that I purchased from a local hardware store. So I sprayed the inside and outside of the sink with the sealer, and I let it soak in for about 5 minutes, at which point I wiped off the excess. Now the stone can hold water just fine on its own. It doesn't need to be sealed, especially a piece of granite like this. But the reason why I used this sealer, or the main reason why I used it, is because it really brings out the color and the grain of the stone. Now, looking underneath the sink, you'll see that I have a 5-gallon pail, and this is what the sink is draining into at the moment, but this is only a temporary measure. So in the very near future, I will be running this drain pipe all the way down underneath the cabin and into the ground. I'll actually be digging it all the way down to the frost line, and then I'll fill that hole up with gravel, and we'll be using environmentally friendly soaps. So any gray water that drains out from the cabin will be good for the environment, and it'll just return to the land. You'll see that I also installed a compost toilet in the bathroom, which I'm really excited for, but I can't use it just yet because I need to vent it first. So I'll be venting that outside at the same time that I'll be running this drain pipe outside. So those are the 2 things that I need to take care of right away. As well, I need to hook the tap up at some point, but I want to build the kitchen first, and that's because I'll have a sink over there as well. So once I've installed the sink over there, then I'll plumb everything up, I'll pressurize the system, and then we'll have running water, which is going to be amazing. But that's it for now. Those are just a few things on my list to do in the near future, but I have so much more planned. I still want to do the upstairs, do the loft, the railing, the ladder, the bed, the kitchen, all that stuff. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Until next time, my friends, stay safe, be well, and God bless.